All right, I guess we'll call the order.
Now we're official.
There you go.
Time is it? 5 o'clock?
5:04. 5:04. All right, start off going down here. Item B, conflicts of interest. Anybody got any conflicts of interest pertaining to anything we're going over today? Seeing none, we'll move right along. Public comment period. Any public comments? Any? All right. Move right along here to item D, committee to approve June 6, 2024 minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Pete,
I'll second.
second by Rachel. All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed? Moving right along. Item E, review the progress of the space in lower level city hall.
All right, I'll give you an email that I got from Tom Turchi, our Director of Public Works, which is the project manager along with Jeff, our maintenance person. Facility maintenance. Here's his email. Per the contract, Altman has 60 days from the start date to complete the work. The start date was late, by the way, over a month late at least. 5 weeks. At the onset, they said it may take 10 weeks or more for the doors, so they don't have doors or a back order. So by the original contract, not counting any change orders, we do have one change order in, right?
Yeah.
For electrical to be dropped from the ceiling. So they have until September 13th to complete the work. Right now, the walls are up, mudded, sheetrocked, pending electrical and studio lighting and ceiling.
So they're making progress.
They're making progress.
So you hope everything will be done by September 13th, except the doors?
I hope so. I don't know, because the HVAC is not contracted already, dude.
No, Jeff is doing the HVAC.
Yeah, but that'll have to be in before they put the ceiling. So I would assume they'll have to do it soon. But yeah, it's getting done down there, and maybe by then. David and I have been over here. Most of our stuff is in storage at the Buffalo building.
You guys okay?
Yeah, we're doing our programming at Hub City Times.
Okay.
So we have our studio cameras over there.
Oh.
She's been very nice, allowed us to leave them over
Ours?
there and have everything set up. So
Or you're using Hub City Times space?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we leave it up, and she's fine with that. And we've been doing a lot of shows over there again.
And then you're just using some cubes office space in here, is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. David's in one of the either
Planning.
one of the Josh's old office,
okay.
and I'm in another one over here.
Sure.
Because there's nobody in them that works for now until we can move back downstairs. It'll be nice to get downstairs, so then we can have a lot of our equipment is kind of all over the place, so you don't know where everything is.
A little disorganized?
A little quite disorganized, but we're getting through there. So we did not pay any. We moved out in June 30th
Yeah.
on time. We had to do a lot of work to remodel. I'll basically say remodel that studio area. That was a lot of work for us
Yeah.
because we couldn't leave the wall, the stuff on the walls, and it destroys walls when you tear off sound panels. So we had to refix all those, mud and paint, and it was overall a week project of not fun. So, but that's done, everything went good, so we've been out of there and didn't pay any rent in July, so
Good.
we're on track.
And
Okay,
how
so there's
much-
no kickback or anything for any of the repairs or anything?
Nothing,
Nothing?
yeah,
Okay.
no, yeah, and we never had a down payment,
No deposit?
no deposit, they never had one, so we didn't get any money back either way, and
Okay.
no loss, and I haven't missed the place over there.
No.
And you saved the city money doing all that work yourself.
Oh, yeah, but David and
So
I
that-
did everything.
That's really
and
awesome.
Angie helped over there, she's one of our main volunteers here, and paid, done some freelance, and she spent a lot of time helping me, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, yeah, thank you too
Yeah.
for,
Yeah, thank you
you know,
guys,
doing all the work
everybody.
you guys did. That's awesome.
Yeah, we went over to, we did all
You're
the
good
stuff.
stewards.
All the stuff came from like Menards or Hillers, but it went through the project that we bid it out. We added that.
So it's going into the new,
The cost, yeah.
Okay.
We almost had to do it that way, and it'll be fine, because our lighting for that project save how much, David? that we changed.
Oh, from 21 down to like 3.
Yeah,
Big difference.
big, save a lot of money. We found some really good, David found some really good ideas for lights, and we're actually using some of them at Hub City. They're really nice.
Good.
So we're very happy, and Kilty's happy, and Tom's
Everybody's
happy, that they don't
happy.
cause any problems, so
Okay.
as of now, everyone's happy, so.
Good.
And we save money, so they can't argue.
That is
Very
awesome. That is definitely a plus with the budget coming up.
Well, that budget doesn't affect our budget.
No,
per
the
se.
city-
Because that's built into the current.
Correct, yeah.
We're under franchise fee, so.
Yeah,
that's
our
not-
budget
that's
is
not-
opposite of, I think, well, not, I shouldn't say.
At least for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not part of the general fund, or it's a fund like fire and police, or fire, excuse me. Anyway,
Okay.
You good? All right. Any other questions on that before we move along? All right. Item F, presentation on new communication workflow diagram for city staff to follow.
yeah, so you guys are kind of the second in line to see this. Steve Barg has had it, I mean, Barg has had it, our director. They liked it a lot. Steve asked me today, though, that you guys allow me to have department head staff see it after you guys, not motion it to council right away. But I would like to get it to council, but maybe there's some updates you want to do. I'll just go over it real quick here. One of the reasons why I did this is I do think, I mean, we still do run into a issue of when do you contact communications and what for and why. And I tried to make it really, really simple. Step 1, step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What I'm trying to do is it matches this back here. So that's what it does, is it matches that, and you can kind of read where you're going in here. So, but anyway, step 1 and 2, 3, and 4, you just follow it. It's pretty common sense, but we're not there yet. Kind of an example. An example would be, even as I found out today, that there was some severe flooding in town, and I was never notified. So we're never notified of that. I think that's an example that the public needs to be aware of, without, once they're there, getting directions from somebody or signs. I don't know what they did.
Well, I heard there was even some cars that were submerged.
Yeah.
So no one,
Parked there.
so we're not hearing that, we're never getting that information. Why that is, I did reach out, and I got a tip from Channel 7 asking for photos, and I said, what's going on? And
Well, that's gotta be a good feeling.
it's not,
No, I bet imagine that.
no, it's not.
Do you have to have a police scanner on top?
I will not put that back on in my life. I did that for 25 years, but I thought about it, Matt, I really did, but, yeah, and I don't know how. I did send an email to the street and said, please let us know, and Tom Turchi, and, because I'm sure they had to know, right?
Do you think the police would be the first ones probably?
There was nothing even on
This
the
is
police
on the
Facebook.
way north side of Marshfield, northeast side. I mean, this was closer to it, because my wife and I, my son lives up that when we were just out there, and it's literally a very segmented area.
Yeah, it's a little area,
Yeah.
but,
And it's just-
yes,
Yeah,
he
I
didn't
don't
have
know if
any.
somebody would call the street department, you know what I'm saying? I think they
No.
might call like emergency. or
They would, but I
there's a
guess
flood.
street department was there.
Oh.
Yeah, I think the street department would probably contact Tom. What I was going is the
Or,
street
well,
department
police really
contact Tom.
first should
I
know.
think they
Police might
should
be
block
first,
it.
I
Yeah,
Police and
police
fire
would go
should know the
first.
right away, then streets, but for some reason, what's happening is, you know, I didn't see anything even on the police Facebook page, just to check. So we're definitely not, there's no public alert or public notice. So I'm hoping, when things like that, this is another step.
I like this, by
To
the
do
way.
this.
I know it seems very simple, but this is what they need. to
It is very
understand.
simple.
This is what you follow in protocol.
It is very simple, and then these are the methods, and trying to explain what we do. They don't have to pick the methods, that's between really David and myself on what works. What we do here, if we're gonna use a press release, website media, social media, Marshall Broadcasting, all those, we have, those are the platforms that we have. Right now, we wouldn't be using it on stuff like that if we didn't know. But I'm just trying to point out that, well, these are the mediums we're missing. And, well, I think it just comes from the days of not having any communications in a city and relying always on media. Well, we all know that media is gone. So no longer, I mean, back in the day, yeah.
News Herald was all
News
over.
Herald would be right there taking photos. They'd have
Video,
pictures of
video,
it but those days are gone, so we should be stepping up our game if we can. So I did put a notice out to also Jody from PD, but I didn't hear anything, but they're aware, but I haven't heard back. So basically, I hope this will help. If you see anything weird or don't like the way that dialogue goes, I'm kind of trying to make it this way. If it's too difficult for people, maybe they need to just go 1, 2, 3, like straight down the road. I don't know if it's kind of a flow map, but maybe it's too difficult to comprehend. Or I want to make this easy.
Looks good.
So
The only thing I would say is if you're gonna give them this, I don't like this to this to this to this to this.
yeah,
to
which
this.
way would you?
Yeah.
Would you
I
rather
would
just
go,
1,
I
2,
would
3,
go
4,
1, 2,
5?
3, 4, 5, 6.
That's what
7.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I might just do
Yeah,
that.
I wouldn't do this cross and
Okay.
back and forth.
Too
That's a
hard.
little confusing.
So 1, 2, 3, 4,
1, 2,
5,
3,
6.
4, 5, 6.
I
in
think
a
I
row.
thought I think I could do that.
Yeah, and I think that just makes more sense.
Okay. And yes, I'm sorry. I thought when I don't know why I said this because I did this a while ago, and
Yeah,
no,
you
that
just
does
have
not match this.
Right.
This is the pieces that we can do.
Right, and
Yeah.
same thing, I go clockwise instead of.
Oh, which you would rather see?
Well, I guess whatever way you do it this way, you should follow the same with this, I guess.
Okay.
That's, again, my opinion.
Yep. No, that's why I'm asking you
If
guys.
you guys have a difference of that,
Well, I would put number one on, don't you read left to right? On the other
You
side,
want
I'd
it-
put
What would you-
ones over, like if you normally.
well, yeah, he followed this.
I Yeah.
followed
this way,
this, but you
you're
could
saying-
switch
That's what I
everything
said, I
left
do
to
the
right.
same thing, 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
and keep going. 'cause
I can switch
again,
everything around, make it
Feels a
easy.
little weird, like 8,
Yeah.
why does it start at 8?
That,
Right.
everybody should,
It
right,
might.
that was the
Everybody
left.
do that way,
That's
Yeah.
right.
So,
And
no, I agree.
they won't. If I don't make it that simple, and you're seeing.
I would say keep it, like
Keep
you
it
said.
simple. Okay, I will, I'll make those updates. What I'm gonna do is present it at our department head meeting.
When's
That's not next week, Wednesday, the following. Get their thoughts, because I don't wanna blindside anybody on account, and then have the council just know that I'm doing it.
When you meet with the departments, I'm assuming you're gonna say, I'm giving you this information now, but this is gonna go to the council,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
I did that with their social media policy, which is actually going to finance, budget, and personnel on Tuesday, finally. And they had plenty of time to, a few of them did. Jody from PD really went through it thick, and I went through it and made the changes that he felt I did a lot, and I think it'll be good.
Good.
But that is a policy that will go to council. You guys have seen it. We made some updates for the departments to kind of work it out. Now it's up to those,
Okay.
finance, budget, and personnel, and then council. But I'll do the same thing here. I will say that the communications committee had looked at it, gave me advice. Usually you would pass to council, but I was asked Steve to kind of do it this way for right now. I think it's better to get your thought quicker, sooner in the process than too late. So,
Okay.
and I can bring it back to and give you an update. I will as well on social media policy in our next meeting when we have one.
Okay.
Hopefully it's passed.
Okay.
Because we're having some issues quite a bit with people, I've heard deleting again.
I did notice that with a couple posts.
Well, somebody said something on PD
I
today,
don't know if it was on PD, but I did see some I saw them come through and then they were gone.
and they're gone, so that ain't right. Yeah, so people are doing that,
Mm.
which we don't supposed to.
Mm. Okay.
People are deleting other people's comments or posts.
They would be
Be the post.
a post, so if you're posting something and you don't like maybe what people commented, you could delete that whole post, and then all those comments just don't show up, which is not right, because you didn't like what was in the comment, maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know, that ain't right. So,
Okay.
All right, any other comments on that before we move along? Seeing none, all right. Item G, update on school board audio concerns, committee member Rachel brought up. For future item agendas on June 6th.
I'll just address it a little bit, and David can kind of go in. Currently, we've been having Angie, which is right over here, freelance set out. And David's been helping her with a little bit of help with, editing and audio. quite a bit, so that helps with that audio issues we have. I think the last one was quite a bit better. I don't know about Mondays because I haven't seen it yet. We had one on Monday recently, but you know, I think it was better. Also, it was in a smaller room. I know those big rooms are going to just be hard to do, but with David teaching how to do audio, I think it's going to help.
Yeah, because we had a different person doing it with their equipment there, and they didn't have any like shotgun mics or anything like that that can actually pick up from a long distance there, so not everybody has a full wired mic system, you know, or that they can place on desks. There's already microphones that they already use for their live stream that they don't record or anything, you know, so, and then I don't think they have a line output, but then there's some other people that want that line output too, so I don't know who gets priority over that, and that's if their IT department sets up that
So
extra
it's-
auxiliary, you know, like during the forum that they had last year, they had an extra auxiliary cord, but that was done in the library where they had that system set up for that, so they gave me a line item for that forum, but they don't set that up in that other facility like that, so.
So it's the IT department at the school board, that's, did you say IT department?
I think IT or the tech
Yeah.
department.
Yeah, probably IT built it in the school district.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're the ones responsible for the quality of sound, that's what you're saying,
For their sound.
for their sound.
That's on their stream. That's not what she records.
Okay.
That's completely separate. They don't record their meetings, they just
Live stream it.
they live stream it. Once it's off, there's no way to go and rewatch it from the school. So what Angie has, she's using the onboard mic on the microphone and then a shotgun mic on the other channel to get the farther sound, and then using some analyzing software to increase the volume on there beyond what the camera mic is able to.
Oh, that sounds really
The
good, thank
hardware.
you.
It is sounding
Thank
better
you.
there, so,
Yeah, the audio sounded better.
Yeah, it did sound better. I was listening to it. And
I mean, without us spending more money on equipment
This is what you can do.
to get more audio in there, because then we would have to get like a 360 type style microphone and set it in the middle of their table or their horseshoe here set up there to pick that up there, but we don't get reimbursed from the school district for that. I mean, we're taking money out of our communications budget, which is part of franchise fees, to pay for equipment, pay volunteers or freelancers to go out and cover that there. You know, is it worth it us that we're only spending the money just for that reason?
Maybe we
But-
could ask them to spend the money, huh? They're gonna run out.
we asked that.
That ain't gonna happen.
They're gonna
So with,
request this
so with the
anyways.
shotgun mic on there, on the next one there, maybe we might do a double shotgun and see if that helps, you know, without, we gotta be very careful running cables across walk areas and stuff like that, you know, even if it's just temporary, I mean, running tape down, you know, that's a whole lot of extra setup, you know, and.
If you're improving it, that's great.
If you've improved it, that's really great, and I'm so glad to hear that you actually got to learn something and improve the school board meetings, and so that's basically what I was looking for, was just a little more clarity to some of their speaking, just because we don't, as a public watching the video, we don't get minutes, we only can follow what people say.
Yeah, and I was watching when public comment, and they're facing away, and it was actually really good. So that's good. So one thing just to mention is they are having more meetings because of possible referendums.
Yeah.
That's why we covered one on Monday. So, but we're gonna go. I told Steve, you know, if we go over budget, on that line item, we got to cover these. They're really important for the community to see those, and
Because there's another one coming up this Monday again.
there could be, yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
hearing. I'm not sure yet.
Well, they have a timeline.
Yeah.
If they're gonna do this, they have to do it like
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Referendum,
House
yeah,
City has
especially.
been
Yeah, so-
following it too.
So people are definitely, and I know our council, Mike O'Reilly, is really gonna want that. They're the ones that
Yeah.
pushed us to do this originally,
Mhm.
and so we're doing it, and we'll
Okay.
continue doing it, so.
Okay.
And we put it online, you know, that's where most people are watching it.
Sure.
Alrighty. Alright, any other questions before we move along? Alright, item H, communications department activities and reports.
Yeah, just a quick report where I'm at. Right now, we are looking at website platforms. I do have a team of different department individuals looking at new platforms, platforms within the website that could replace some of the smaller platforms that do the same things. We have it on one area, but we're still in the beginning stages. We reviewed 4 now, have a few more to go. And getting department level questions, department level people here to be able to help, because they're the ones that technically update their pages. Most of them do, not all. My goal is to have them all do that all the time and update their pages, keep them updated and fresh and not old. But we're looking at a platform that's not so difficult, clunky to use. But we're a ways from that. We do have it in the CIP for 10,500 a year. And that would be funded out of the general fund, 101, so it's not coming out of our fund, franchise fees, but it's still under our.
It's still under your
leadership.
umbrella.
Yeah, it's under my umbrella. But like I say, I've invited everyone in from other departments to be players. So the only one who we don't have. I think we got we don't have. I'd like to get streets and stuff and public works, but at least we got Parks and Rec on board now,
Good.
and fire and police. Those are 2 main ones that I want to do. We wouldn't do anything with a utility or library. That's their own, and we just link to it, so no worries there. So that's a big thing that's coming. That's happening, and looking at that's also why we're looking at for the newsletter, because right now I haven't been doing it because we looking at different platforms and how we're going to have people register for that. I don't want to get it too far ahead and then change and notifications. So, and time-wise, I had to just kind of drop it since about the end of April. Try to reconnect with something like this, because the harder part was making sure I get enough information for it and I'm not digging on a Friday afternoon. So hopefully we can get through these things first, then bring that back. Public loved it, but it takes a ton of time and a ton of work. It's not that they don't want it, they do. But it just, you got to make some cuts, and Constant Contact was getting up to be about $1,600 because we were getting more contacts. The more contacts you have, the more you need, and that's where we were running into issues. So I don't have Constant Contact at this point anymore. Was using the city website. I will bring it back soon, and I've been working I had Natasha Tompkins give me some ideas she wanted to do. I think are good ideas, a couple of citizens. So, back to the website real quick. I do want to put a survey out to the public of what they want to see in a website. Rapids actually did it. Isla's really liked their survey they did. They're looking for a new website. And, they said they only got about 200 people response, but it was 200 response. But I'd like to do it. I like their questions. He's gonna give them to me, one of the guys over there, but I haven't seen them. But I think that'll be helpful, and we'll use our public engagement software, since we still have it, to use that. So,
Cool.
talk about that public engagement software right now. It just the council doesn't look like we're going to swing it at this point. So it was moved out of the CIP. The council did vote to say no to it at this point. But again, the CIP is a moving document, and things can change. It was kind of funny because one of the next meeting they talked about putting on a survey, and I looked at and I said, we aren't gonna have that. So
So how did the council vote on that? I mean, was
they
it-
just all voted.
They all voted no?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because they
Really?
wanted it out of they had updates to the CIP, and I think Tom brought it up, yeah, and basically they said no. I don't, and I gave them plenty of time I gave them options to reach out to me. I provided them that video too. I did provide that video so to watch and just got.
But you said very next meeting, they said something about a survey.
Yeah.
Did anybody bring that up to him?
Steve did, didn't he?
Did he say, well, this is
Yeah,
where the
yeah.
public engagement?
Yeah, Steve loves
stuff
it,
will
but-
work, but
But,
I'm just curious.
but, you know, it's, is it the cost as much as do we really want to use it? And it's really up to I always push, it's really up to, I can't do it myself. I don't have the information to put on there. If we need to do a survey of what's happening with PD for some reason and Buffalo, but what we should do, I can't just do that.
I think the council folks might think, well, we can just do a free survey, it'll be fine, just, whatever. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
survey.
Well, again, you have some council members that feel that they're the ones that should make the decision, and some want to hear from the public, so it's kind of a wash. But, we have it through the end of June of next year, because it's paid up, so, if they want it back, they sure can do a budget resolution next year, right? So,
Yes.
I'm gonna leave it as that. If someone wants to use it between now and then, we will, and in the website, I think. Anybody else does, use it away.
I would continue to remind them that,
Yeah.
keep in mind again, we still have it because it's paid for.
And we
till
did.
June.
Recently,
You're gonna lose it after that.
yep, you'll lose it.
Okay.
I think it'll make a big difference is if we got an economic development director person, because when we had the new person here for a month, she knew what it was and wanted to use it right away. But until we get somebody here that really wants, that would know what it is to get, 'cause they're gonna need to know what the community, if they wanna do all these housing and stuff,
Right.
they're gonna need it, but until then, you can always bring it back.
Yeah.
So, but that's my updates right now, and, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
So, if we do not renew by next June and it lapses, is there a fee to sign up again? Like, do they give you a discount if you could pay, like, when you have a subscription and you pay ahead of time, you get like 5% off or something like that? Perhaps ask
don't know
Kent
if-
Boring if you get a discount by paying ahead of time, and then remind the council, hey, when this runs out in June, you have to pay a reinstatement fee to get it to go again, or something like that. I'm just wondering if there's a reinstatement fee or some kind of fee
Or
if
do
you
they
don't.
consider you a new entity and the price is different?
Yeah.
Than it would have been
Yeah.
for incurring?
Yeah, I think.
Or is there like a setup fee?
Right.
Before you start again with the HR debt? It might be good to know that.
I don't know if there was an implementation fee when we did this.
Well,
I think
you know,
usually
nowadays everything's
websites, all
changing.
websites are,
Everything's a fee.
but I'm not sure about, it's like a website, maybe.
I think nowadays there's,
They'll charge you
There's always ways
$2,000 and then,
yeah.
yeah.
You should at least find out at least.
I can find out.
Yeah, Just so
Yeah.
the council
Yeah.
is
Just
more
so-
official.
That and
Yeah.
like if it does lapse, is there obviously all that information that's on there currently, do we lose all of that? If it is to lapse, is that stuff just gone or
Well,
do they charge a reinstatement?
Yeah, well, I haven't brought it
fee
up
on
with the
that?
company yet, so I
Okay.
didn't even want to go there right now, so, yeah, once I do, because then I might lose some support from them.
Right.
Well, but at least just, you could even entertain this time, just when you ask them about those fees, just say, we're going through our budget, and everybody needs to know this. If something would happen in our budget where we had no choice and we lost this, what would happen?
Yeah, what are the consequences?
And do we lose our stuff? I'm just saying, you're
Good
collecting
point.
information for the council.
Yeah, because you don't want to lose it. I mean, there is a lot of those, yeah, how do they provide you the data?
Right, what happens to the data?
We did get that on a couple of our web platforms that we stopped. They did provide us all our data.
Okay.
And we were able to save it in our
Great.
servers here.
Good to
With
know.
IT's help. So anything I know that since I've been here, we've had to not have, we've been able to retain, they give it all to us.
Okay.
But this was a good one to ask, so. But otherwise, I think being over here helps. There's no doubt about it helps. Updating the economic development pages right now is they are so bad and so often. It should have been done a while ago. But I've been working with Karen Olson to get those updated and Steve, because nothing's been updated. Yellowstone's, nothing new, nothing. Daniels is way off. Everything is just 2.5 years old.
Okay.
Because Josh has been gone, right about 2 years now? 2.5?
Year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, so it's dated that. So I've been doing all those updates with Steve's help and Karen's, and hopefully that'll be better. So that's one of the things I'm really kind of going through, because I don't know if we're gonna have anybody coming up yet for those positions, so. But that's it for me for right now.
Okay.
All right, let's move right along here. Item I, Marshfield Broadcasting Division activities and reports. That's what we just did. All right, so item J.
Well, actually, that's David.
No, that's
Where's
David.
David?
We just did the communication.
I just kind of went city level, since that's my
Okay.
main thing.
Go ahead,
How dare
Dave.
you.
He said he's gonna shoot right off.
I know. So there's a whole heck of a lot going on right now. We just recently, the platform or the software we used to download content with from a very popular video platform online there has ceased the allowance of those applications to pull programming from there. So pretty much all of the church programming, I would download those every Monday morning, you know, and it would consume a lot of my time in the morning to do that, you know, all the way up till like about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, in between doing other things. So with that, last month, about 4 weeks ago, I sent out a hard letter in the mail to all the community producers and all the churches in the area saying, after a certain date, I will not be downloading. And this was before the fact where the software stopped working for pulling the programming down. And so it kind of accelerated things to the point where I had to send out extra email communication. So now I am no longer downloading anything for church services or content from other community producers or what have you. Anyone who opt in to do it, they now have a Connect account through our Telview system. That's the same company that we use for our broadcaster. So they have an account now set up where they can go in there, load it. It automatically comes into our broadcaster from the Connect account, straight into broadcaster, and it automatically goes into the schedule for broadcast, as long as it's within that time frame or under. So if they're only given an hour slot, they can't be 1 hour and 1 second over, because it won't air. But if they have a program that airs that day and they get it in time, it could almost re-air again that day. So everyone's uploading themselves, and it's all automated now
How's it going?
on the back end. It's great now.
I mean, is anybody having problems with that? I mean, you lost things because of it, or?
We probably lost six churches, because some may not have the technology to record it, that they just stream it, you know, and it gets recorded to YouTube, you know, YouTube Live. And some produce such a huge file, the one said, well, our 1.5 hour service is about 80 gigs.
You're like, that's not gonna work.
I'm like, unless if you've got a really good fast internet connection, you know, because that's gonna take a long time to get uploaded to Connect, and then Connect's gotta take that 80 gig file and compress it down to something that's 6 gigs, and then send it over into our broadcast server. So they opt out on doing it.
Okay.
So, and then I told him, I says, well, if I get any phone calls of people asking where those services or programs are, I will redirect them to that person or organization that was responsible for the content in the beginning, you know, and if there's a need for that, then it's on them to then ask for a Connect account, and they start uploading. So
Have you got a lot of phone calls?
I have not yet, because the new week coming up would be
The first.
the new full effect of the new schedule, and of that part, the brand new fall schedule for all 3 channels starts on the 24th of this month. So the entire channel lineup for all 3 channels will go in effect on the 24th of this month. So So right now, play out is kind of wonky for a little bit there, but I'm not gonna put a lot of work into the old schedule right now, because I've just redone the new schedule starting for the 24th, so from then it's gonna be full, so anywhere else, anybody else is gonna have to go in somewhere in an open slot later in the evening, so.
Okay.
And then on top of that, I did put our application into the Marshfield Community Foundation June 1st, when they open up their July 1st for their application for the grant process for the low power FM. A couple weeks before that, they asked me to come in to present. They just wanted to get an idea of to their board members of what we're trying to do and what our funding kind of looks like, and then we'll be notified on the 28th of this month of what funding that we will get. So that's the date when they're going to be notifying all entities that put in for the grant application for this summer. So other than that, that's all I really got. So.
Okay.
Is there any variation on that grant, or is it like?
Well, so they ask in that grant, you know, what is your total budget for the project, you know? You're not guaranteed to have it fully funded, you know, they may say.
They want to know what it's going to be. And
They want to know what the total project's going to cost, because there may be somebody out there in the community say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to foot the whole bill, or I'm only going to give 10,000, and another organization may, well, we'll put in 5,000. Well, now we got 15. So it just depends on how generous people in the Marshall area are going to be. So
What was the total ask for?
35 or a little under. So I did put in, I did put a leeway of $3,000 extra in, just because the tower climbing company that I'm trying to deal with hasn't gotten back to me. So if I have to find somebody a bit farther out, then they charge by the hour rates for drive time. So, and then plus usually those tower guys charge roughly on average $1,000 per person per hour that's on the tower.
Oh my gosh.
So if they had 3 people on there, that's $3,000 an hour. So if I can get away with just one person or 2 people, you know, that's what the biggest cost is in there. So I put in there about $7,000 just for the climbing company, because they would have to have liability insurance to go on.
Oh, their liability and work comp is ridiculous.
Yes.
It's
For
really
that?
bad.
Yeah.
What they pay.
Yeah.
Mhm. And make sure if you do that, you make sure, and I assume you know that, you're gonna get something certificate showing that they have coverage for all.
Right, yeah, there was another tower work for another organization I belonged to, and we had to make sure that they had
Oh, yeah.
a $9 million liability
Mhm.
insurance policy, and we had to have that certificate.
Watch the dates too.
Yeah.
I've seen people where they take an
Watch.
old policy and put dates on, they currently don't have insurance.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm sure the water company is gonna,
Well, the
Yeah.
utilities will be all over, but like I
Yeah.
said, just beware.
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty aware of that.
Yep.
Fair enough. All right. Moving right along, item J, update on the 2025 communications budget.
Yeah, you know, we have never done this at this level, and it's actually kind of I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek. Our budgets are actually, all of us are due to finance and Steve in a couple days. And it's for them to review. They'll have a month to look into whatever they need, and then they'll set meetings up for each of our department heads and figure where we're at, so. But this is, so this can change if needed, but it gives you an idea, or if you want some additions, I still can do that. It closes after the 3rd and makes it a little bit harder to get stuff in. Right now, I can just add whatever I want. And Then I gotta
See what happens.
Then I gotta talk to Steve and Jordan and
Get it.
Jennifer, and they'll say no. But at least you guys can see. Anyway, I'm gonna try to see this because it's about as tiny as I can. No, I got it. I know which ones I want to do. I'll take these off. How about that? One thing I wanted to bring up is, and I don't know if I did it, TDS actually has cable here. And I found that out, kind of just working through some other people I knew at church, finding out that they had TDS TV. And they asked if we had a local channel, and I said, well, no, we don't. I didn't think they were doing any cable, and I actually did find out they do have cable in the southeast area of town. Called TDS and said, wait a minute, you guys are, we collect a franchise fee by law, 4% of that. And she said oh, I'm sorry, I forgot, and kind of, but anyway, it all worked out. They're not doing a lot right now because they put a stall, but it's an extra $4,000 that we didn't have. And we actually just got the check today. I saw it
Look
come
at
in.
that. You gotta
So it's
get extra
$4,000
money.
we didn't have, and it actually kind of covers probably the raises that David and I, so it's kind of a wash. We needed that. It'll help with franchise fees.
Good.
I think next year will be more, and if they keep going, it'll be more. So we are getting the franchise fee, which is nice. So, but we can't have the local channel here anyway because the infrastructure is not even here
Okay.
to even have TDS as a customer. Until they would bring the fiber here, we couldn't even do our channel. So,
Okay.
and we don't know if we're going to do that. We did put money in the budget this year anyway. No, we probably won't use it because there's nothing there to use. It'll just stay in our fund. And we don't lose the money; it just stays in the fund. Just want to let you know on that. So this is again for 2025. Like I said, I got the CIP in there for $10,812. That's general fund money for the city website, and that's going on for 5 years because every year that's what it would cost. What I'm going to do is EDB is no longer around, but last year I asked for $5,000 or for this, and I did get it. But now you have to ask finance, budget, and personnel. That's going to come up on the 28th. So Matt, I don't know if you're asking money or anything. But as I'm understanding, it's going to be the 28th of August to do that. And I'm going to ask for $15,000 so we can continue working with videos for Mackey, Main Street, and Visit Marshfield. Right now, basically I do one a week with Denise at Marshfield, at Mackey. It's called Wednesday Walkthrough. We just did 2 yesterday. We try to publish them once every Wednesday.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So that's kind of the gist of it, to help us continue doing those. So we want to help Keely in some videos too, and possibly Matt if he needs anything. But we'd like to get some money from the city and not just from franchise fees to do that, because they're not really meant for. We run them, but maybe they're not always meant for public access TV. These we have been using, so. All right, so just letting you know about that. Let's just do this real kind of a high level here. School board meeting, I'm gonna ask for more on that, about $1,600, because we get more, so we pay $100 a meeting. And that comes done, so, which is nice, it's ready to go, ready to play. It's not just taped and then we gotta do the work, so that helps. We're down on our cable TV. We're only gonna have one cable box in here. We don't need all those cable boxes like we had over there. We had 3 of them, and over here, so we saved cut that in half. We're not gonna have it downstairs. If we wanna see cable, make sure it's working, just come up here. So we're not gonna put it downstairs. Let's see here. We gotta have general repairs, nothing big there. Our expense is Telview because it's our broadcaster. It's not cheap, and we have to have it for support, every annual support, and that costs about $6,387. And we have 2 more years left on that contract, and without it, you'd be lost. It's essential. It's all Linux based. David manages that, and he's actually helped the company come up with some amazing things, and that's helped us. That's been great. So he has a really good connection with them, and I think we're good. Also, then we had to upgrade our CMS Connect, as David was talking about. Costs a little more because we had to add in more users. We only had 12 licenses.
Yeah.
We had to add another 10. So I'm adding actually 10 plus 3 more. So yeah, we're gonna have to have enough so people can distribute the program up, is they're not gonna be able to really easily come in here as much as they used to either, so, just the way it works, so. And then, we have our ASCAP and BMI licensing, which is made for what we do. There are separate ones for the city, and I handle them, but it's paid by the general fund. Especially for like Parks and Rec, because I think all those entities, we pay, so we have it for like the pool and stuff. They play music there on the radio. GoGov notifications, we're not sure yet. That costs $4,512 for an app annually. We've had it for a few years. That's a decision one way, I don't know what we're gonna do with that. Because what we wanna do is have our app for our programming here, for the Teleview, because they do make an app that's in, what I'm feeling is, the problem is videos get stretched or look weird on websites if you're not careful. And the app doesn't do that, it's meant for that. So we're looking at that possibly to put in there. It's a one-time fee, what's nicer, so it's the same price, but it's once. The GoGov is every year. So basically one time you pay $4,500. But the app that we're talking about is made for Marshall Broadcasting. The other app is really a city notification app. But we need notices to use the notification, like I said before, make it really worth it. So, because you can send that out like an alert and it'll go to it. But plus, and you don't need someone to download the app per se, I don't think, for that. No, they can get email or a text. They don't need to actually download the app if they don't want the app. A lot of people don't seem to download apps anymore. I think they're getting sick of them. So, but you still can use that to subscribe for notifications. Our van, found out that it is 92 cents a mile to pay to run it, so it's not cheap. So we got to budget a little bit more. That's what the fund costs that we have to pay into, 92 cents. So we're going to put a little bit more in, about $3,000 for that, and then we have to pay $1,000 annually for 3 years for the van. They charge us $3,000 to pay back this fund, they call it a 701 fund. So I have to budget $1,000. We had to pay it this year, next year, and the following. I think so. $3,000 for the van, probably a pretty good deal because the van's really good shape.
Treated fine.
Marketing materials. That's something we really don't do often. I want to do that for Marshall Broadcasting. We want to start making sure again we keep getting that out. So we provide stuff for our guests when they come. A lot of times guests come and they don't get nothing. Right? So cups to. Just material that David can, cups are great because you can put a schedule, you can put what the show is about and just say, here you go. So they leave with something in their hands, because if you tell them what time it's on, they ask and you forget before you get down the road. So more marketing material, I just put in $3,000 for that. Anything else that's high in here, let me see. I do want to put in there right now is something about the LPM FM. Even though they'll question me on where the funding would come from, it would be more of a scope of a project. David, you told me something, and I don't know what you mean by scope. Maybe, like, what do you mean by scope? I put about $1,500 for that for next year.
To have a single tower guy or person, man or woman, to come out to that water tower to actually scope the top of that, to make sure that there's enough, there is enough room up there, but what type of mounts are needed for us to order to complete it, because not all these tower climbing companies bring the parts for us.
Oh no, because every utility company may require different parts,
Right, so we would have to have them go up there, scope all that, and find out exactly how much cable I need to order to run up there. Because it's just not the 138 feet, it's gonna be plus another 15 this way, another 10 up this way, and then down at the bottom, it may have to be, well, it can't go this way, so we need an additional 15 more to go, that way, and then maybe a little extra, so, it's about like $4 a foot for that particular coax. So, and then if there's room up there to put the microwave beam up there for the IP bridge.
So, like I say, we're just trying to put in some money, just to be thinking ahead. Maybe the grant will come through, but we'll see what they say. It would still come out of the 235, but I think it's important to do that. Otherwise, we're gonna be,
Scrambling to find a new location real quick and make amendments.
and we don't wanna do that. So, we'll see where it goes. I'll have David explain it if needed, to.
What's your total that you're asking?
I don't know if I have it.
Total?
Let me see if I have
I'm
it
just
over
curious.
here. I don't think I.
You don't have to add them up, I was just curious.
Well, the total budget is 263, if I remember right.
For the communications
For
program.
communications. I believe if you add in the things I'm hoping for revenue, is 283, that means we'd be 20 above.
So you have 20 and,
But that's saying if we can do $5,000 of work, production work, that's nothing to do with public access, which we've already started. I've been doing stuff for Columbus Catholic, doing their videos at about $1,000 a piece. So Mackie talked about it, but I haven't heard anything more about it, but. you
is
know.
this 262 above and beyond the franchise fees then? Is
No, yeah, these are franchise fees are not, yeah, we have to.
So
what I'm saying
this is above and beyond that, this is what this is coming out of the general fund.
No, how about this, 263 is the total budget.
Oh.
Our total amount we wanna spend. The budget that's in here with all the revenue is 283.5.
Okay,
So we would have 20,000 above, but that's saying, that's give or take if we get the 15,000 from the city to do these videos that we're doing. So that's you could take 15,000 off the 283, and the 5,000 we gotta go make, on top of that's 20 now. And sale of equipment, another 1,000.
Tom, do you have an idea or an estimate of what the franchise fees are? or
Yeah,
what
I'm
the-
just
Right now,
trying
we're
to-
at 200,000.
Okay, so looking at 60 or 80 over the.
Well, yeah, 200,000, and then we get state revenue at 49.5.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
so
so-
you're only about 10,000 over what you're
Correct.
collecting.
Yeah, we still get state revenue.
that's what I was trying to get
Okay.
at.
But that could, when's the budget for the governor? Not next year, 2026, right? It's every 2 years. Well, we don't automatically get state revenue for free.
Right.
We have to beg for that.
Right.
We got lucky again for Governor Evers to put it in. We don't, every
You
2
don't know-
years.
Well, you don't know who's even gonna be around next.
We don't know, and
Okay.
we could lose that used to be that extra percent. That's how that worked, we used to have 5% franchise fees, we got down to 4. All the municipalities, everyone,
It's a
they spend
negotiation.
$13 million, the state does, on this extra percent to all the municipalities, because, well, a lot of them use it for whatever they want. And they get that, they took that money, some of them are way more than us. 100,000, like Madison, or 200,000, I don't know what they do, they do something else with it, I'm sure, but.
Sure.
But anyway, we'll always talking, the WCM, the group that David and I work with this and get the governor on board, we write letters, the board does, so we'll be on top of it.
Okay.
Good deal.
Same with the league, we get the League of Municipalities involved, so that because of all the, what is there, hundreds of municipalities that collect this, that's important.
Okay.
Well, thanks for the budget
Yeah.
update.
Yeah, it's just a higher level, and, we're, you guys are probably the first committee to hear that, really,
Okay.
so.
Well, we appreciate it.
And the council, but they haven't seen numbers like this, and they probably won't for a while.
Okay.
But if you think of something that we should have, or want added, let me know.
Okay.
That's where we're at. We're cut in some areas, but
Okay.
we have to.
All right. Perfect.
All right, item J, items for future agenda items. Anybody, anything they want to add?
Your TV show? Or your news show? Did you want to talk about your news show?
That's him. I'll help him. It's just his
They
idea.
did a little thing on Facebook where they asked everybody if
Yeah,
they
that
would be
was-
interested in a 30-minute news show for local news, and there was actually a lot of responses.
Yeah, for the positive. So
Right.
We'll
Everybody
talk
was like,
about that
yes.
on the future agenda items here, but.
I think David can bring it back when that happens, if you want, and see where he goes. Because by then, in 2 months, right? We meet again.
Yeah.
I think it'll be going by then.
Late fall after we get the
Yeah, we'll
studio
see.
up and running, so.
Yeah, like I say, I think public wants more news. They always do.
I think the public enjoys enjoys you guys and the work you do. I think that's why your page gets as much engagement and as much positive engagement as you get.
That's good.
As long as I don't post it to Facebook, city's Facebook.
Yeah.
I guess one other thing, maybe do a overview on where we're sitting with the strategic plan
Okay.
as well. Maybe a touch back on
The
that.
the
would be good.
communications one?
Yeah.
And when we do meet next time, if it's 2 months, I'm assuming we could have a short tour of your
Yeah,
facility.
Yes.
yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, we should at
We
least
should
see
be
what-
there by then, I hope.
Well, we're thinking 2 months, you should, hopefully.
What is it, it's August 1st, yeah.
So that'd be October 1st.
Yeah, I think we should be down there by then.
Yeah, so I mean, that would be kind of cool, just to do a
Yeah,
quick
most
Yeah,
definitely.
walk
look
it.
at it.
Great.
Mm,
Yeah, be exciting.
I just remembered something, sorry. Who do we have to contact to change the time on that My Vote?
Oh, I will find out from Jess, because she knows who to
Okay.
contact on there since it has wrong hours, right?
Yeah,
It's a
this
good-
lady wanted to sign up to vote, she couldn't, the hours are wrong on the website.
Well, just, not to, in future agendas, we'll give you an update on election stuff
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
Yeah.
We did all of them, David did them all, and Angie, thank you, to the ones that are for, was it 86th?
Yes.
They're done, all 4 candidates, right? No, and the Democrats, so, and I don't know what the traction's getting right now, but we did it at Hub City, so.
Okay.
Cool. We're not missing out, we just started our post-council back again, I had Varsho in yesterday. It was good.
Okay. Cool.
Awesome, I like those shows, so thank you.
Yep.
All right, if there's nothing else, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second him.
All right, sounds good. Then we're adjourned.
Thank you, guys.
You second